So, Kevin. So I just met you a couple months ago, but since I've met you, it's been nothing but great vibes. I get playlists from you every so often. Love everything about you so far. Again, I say so far. So far. So
TBD.
To be determined. But as of right now, love everything that you're doing. But I want to know a little bit more about you. And I take it that the rest of the people who now see Kevin on everything also want to know a lot about you. So tell me a little bit. Tell me where you started, how you and Brian met, the beautiful little relationship that you two have.
Yeah, man.
Let's not repeat the Hyde Park experience. This is supposed to be a 10-minute video.
Yeah, that was 38 minutes in itself, so we better not go there with this.
Listen, 2-minute answers. That's what we got. We got 2-minute answers, fellas. Let's not kill.
No, this started, 2018, I believe, at the well-known National Pavement Expo. We were in Nashville that year, right, I believe, and Brian put on one of his courses, and I hung around afterwards and went up and introduced myself. I was something happened in those 45 minutes to an hour. There's like, man, I gotta go shake this guy's hand.
Right.
I gotta meet this dude, and kind of the rest is history. I mean, we made the connection there, and then I believe even that next week we started communicating almost daily, like right out of the gate. Like something clicked, something connected. I believe I'd had a business of my own for 6-7 years at that point, and was kind of at that stage where a lot of our membership is today. Where do I go from here? What's next? How do I climb this mountain? Because I've done so much, and I can only go so far on my own, right? So what he had, I believed in from right from the start almost, and there was again just that connection, and. It didn't take us a month, man, and a friendship was forged, like literally just in those conversations, because we were on the phone a few hours a week, right out of the gate.
I was using the things that we teach in TCS to move the relationship along, right? And so, it's funny because people will say sales, well, it's got to be authentic and it's got to be, real. And dude, sales doesn't work if it's not real and authentic. But there's also methods. Like I still have it on my phone, man. The video of me holding Kingston.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Kevin through a selfie video on my phone, right? Telling him, because his guy Josh that I was going to train, wanted to know if we could do the training on the weekends. And so, I kind of said, in the video, I was like, tell Kevin Kingston we do whatever it takes. And so in his cute little, at that time, probably 3-year-old voice, right? He said, whatever it takes, Kevin.
Yep.
And that video is still on my phone, man. But it's cool to be able to look back at those moments and realize, how many things changed about both of our lives and so many other people as a result of, just him coming up and shaking my hand. And, Carla, same thing, man. I met her.
Yeah.
Waiting in line after the National Pavement Expo session, teaching, and that relationship again. It's years and years, and the businesses grow together, and it's an amazing journey, man, to be able to look back and see, what that one little seed.
Oh, and we've been through a lot together. You go back and start telling all the pieces of the story and all of the events, occurrences, professionally and probably more importantly personally, that we've been through together. It's pretty astounding in a 5-year period. 6
dude. I mean, what was your business doing at the time?
Maybe $2 million, couple $1 million.
Yeah, and ours was brand new.
Yeah.
So just think about that. Just the growth.
You guys were building together.
Yeah, absolutely. And learning, and I always say this, but what I learned in corporate America, from a sales standpoint, a training standpoint, a mentorship standpoint, was invaluable to me being in this industry. And it was what I noticed immediately was guys like Kevin, so many of the members of TCS, they know what to do, and they know how to hustle, and they know how to work hard. It's just sometimes there's a couple missing pieces.
Right.
That's it, man.
That literally puts the rocket fuel in the tank, and then they start to believe in something bigger than, when you don't know the path, $2 million a year or $4 million a year, whatever that cap is for you, whatever the lid is, that's what you believe. That's what you believe is what it is. We talk about this around here at the Pavement Group all the time. When I met Mike Hukin for the first time, $1 million a year for a sales guy was what he expected. That's what he thought.
Yeah.
And I instantly told him, I don't know who's been lying to you, bro, but like, that's not reality. There's so much more. And
Right.
that's, to me, that's what community does. That's why we created TCS in the first place. It's like to give people a real good, broad look at what is possible. It's like, what is out there? What are other people doing? Because if you can do it, I know I can do it.
Right.
Or if I can do it, you can duplicate what I'm doing as
Right.
long as I can give you the playbook, right?
That's it. I mean, it's that, and it kind of reminds me of the new people we're bringing into the fold now. There's always that. It's like they want it, you want it. We want to join the membership or whatever, and like there's always that resistance, and it usually comes down to like expense. Like that's why you had to send the video of Kingston. For me to finally say, okay, we'll spend the money to get Josh involved with this. And like at that point, he was new to the industry. He was selling maybe $500,000 a year. And by the time he and I exited, just a few months back, I mean, this guy's selling $3.5 million a year for a smaller, we're a $6-7 million paving contractor. Like, and at that point, we were like, to me, in my market vision, in my kind of tunnel vision of being in my own industry, in my own business alone, not having, when you get around that community and there's a lot of communities out there that are very similar. Like community is community. When you get to be a part of something, and it's that realization, you said, it's that realization of knowing that you are not alone and that everybody else is going through the same shit. Literally almost the same. If you look at everybody that's coming through our doors and into this program, it's like these 4 or 5, 6 very similar things that we're all going through. And it's like we figure those out together, and it's fucking rocket fuel, man.
I'll give you an example. So, when we were on our job in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, I've had many mentors through the years, and just people you could call and bounce things off of, or when you're in trouble, you need somebody who's been there before, right? So I called our boy Steve Brainy in New Jersey. We were having trouble getting trucks, and we were going through it, right? And I called Steve, man, and my stress level was like a 9 out of 10, man, maybe a 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah, it was elevated.
And Steve always answers the phone, and so I rattled off all the problems that we were facing on this job, right? And Steve's just listening, and I get to the end, and he's like, is that it? And I was like, yeah, that's it. And he's like, oh, cool, man. Yeah, I've been through all that shit like 25 times before. Just get back to work, man. You'll get it done. And I was like, on one hand, that's not what I was looking for. Like, I was actually looking for some like sound, practical advice on how to get out of this.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I got off the phone and I took a minute and I was like, okay, this isn't that bad. Right? This isn't that
somebody
bad.
else went through it.
And that is really, above all the strategies and the lessons and the things that we talk about every single week, it's like, those are the things that really matter, Yeah. And so, in the world of Top Contractor School, a 5-year period of building that organization and community, Kevin played a major role in that. And so to be able to get him back as the executive director in Top Contractor School, man, it's a game changer for the community because nobody understands what it's like to be a contractor more than a contractor who's been through every scenario. You've damn near checked every box of a typical contractor, right? Started from nothing, built up to a really significant business, kind of drifted away from the community a little bit. Yeah. And then, realized, what the risks are of not having that brotherhood or sisterhood, that fraternity of people. In order to take it to the next level and to keep you there. One of the things we talk about all the time, man, it's like, we don't teach lessons every week because we have new information every week. We teach lessons every week because you need to hear it over and over and over and over again, right? And, you're a living, breathing example of that, man. I'm humbled and honored to have you running with us and helping to build this thing and really to reach the contractors that need us, man, because that's what it comes down to. It's like there's so many people out there that are just like you and I were 5 years ago that didn't have anybody, that still feel alone. And, we're just trying to reach those people to get them on board and get them into the family. And, Trey, you've experienced it. I mean, you walk into that room at a retreat and it literally, we say this, kind of joking, but it's not really a joke, man. You walk in that room, you feel like you get a big hug. It's like everybody cares about each other. genuinely cares about the success of your business. And there's not one problem you could face in your business that somebody in that room hasn't faced already
That's a guarantee.
and overcome.
That's a guarantee. I know that from just experience and watching you guys go through it and how you guys do everything that you do, man. It's like there's not a single person in that entire room that either A, doesn't know what you're going or already has been through what you're going, or B, somebody that wants to be there to help you to get through what you're going through, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about it, right? We talk about adversity, especially from the job level, right? We have a lot of different adverse situations, but let's talk about adversity from a personal sense, right? Because Kevin, you started this thing and then you had went on a different journey and different path in your life.
Yeah.
But I feel like your journey is so important because I believe there's so many contractors out there who also face the same issues where they get lost a little bit and they had to find their love back. And on top of that, think of it from a Brian's perspective, right? I always say, man, a family that prays together stays together, right?
Yeah.
So for a friend to always have your back and to prove that he has your back, let's go in a little bit about that on both ends to see on how everything happened. Let's talk about a little bit about your personal life, but also being the friend that helped that guy get back to where he needs to be.
Yeah, and I mean, geez, you always, I'm almost getting emotional. I am getting emotional thinking about this and talking about it. It's like, you have those relationships in your life that you think are solid, are true, are ride or die. Like I got just a couple ride or die people in my life. And like for this guy to call me up after the things that just went down in my personal life and offer this position, this opportunity, like that's a brother.
Right.
Like that's, it doesn't get any more real than that to me. Like just the testament of I'm going to stand beside you. And like you've told me for years, like, and we both had our respective businesses through this. And it's like, you've always said, when you're ready, the seat's right here. Like, let's do this TCS thing. And I never knew how to get here. I never could wrap my head around, well, I've got my own business. How am I ever going to go do that full time or give enough of myself to that? And if most people that are watching now, and for those of you that don't, like, there's some, I got in some serious trouble, 4 or 5 months ago. Like I got more than my hand smacked than I needed to because I hadn't been living right in a couple years. Like going through a divorce, trying to figure out the business settlement side of things, figuring out, 50-50 custody with my kids,
Right.
Kind of a single dude again. Like it's a lot of freedom involved with that, and a lot of, I'd grown a business up and became very successful. So there's a lot of ego with that.
Hey.
There's a lot of there's a lot of, you take a lot of things for granted, and you take a lot of liberties that you almost get to the point where you feel like you're kind of untouchable. Right. And that's a scary place to be, man. And I was, and that's when I kind of, started easing out of TCS too. And if I think back on it now, like the best times, not only in my professional career, but in my personal life, has been when I've been tapped into this community.
Come on.
And now I have this community, I have a couple other communities I'm now involved with, part of my recovery, that I wouldn't want to do any of the rest of my life without those communities in place. Like they mean that much to me from a personal development standpoint, from being a man standpoint, from being a good father, from being a role model. Like I don't know who else in my family is going to be the oak tree if I can't be the oak tree. I got 2 boys. I got a woman I've been with for 1.5 years that has 2 kids. Like, I want to be that example. And it's the same thing for this industry. Like, I think that's always been what you've wanted to be for this industry and what we thought we could be for this industry, along with Keith Jr., those of us that have been doing this kind of from the jump. Like, let's be the example. And if we want to be the example, we got to live by that. We got to walk it, talk it, breathe it, illustrate. I mean, and it can't be a front. It's got to be genuine. And I think that's why this group works. That's why this community works, because it's always been genuine. But when I drifted away, and some of that had to do with, some of the decisions I was making personally, kind of pulled me away, kind of isolated myself. That's what happens. And it's a scary place. That isolation will kill you. Ooh. It will kill you, literally.
That's where the devil wants you and the evil gets you.
That's where he wants you in that corner over there by yourself, in your head, listening to him, listening to that side of your conscience, and then it starts to rule your life. And if the instances that happened that allowed me to face the consequences I had to face weren't divine intervention and somebody reaching down and grabbing my ass and saying, "Hey, you're here for a purpose. Get out, get away from that, get your life together, figure yourself out, spend some time quiet with yourself, start learning about who you are, what you want to be, what your purpose is," none of this would have happened. So I thank God for all that. As bad as it was, like it's the only thing that got me to this seat.
Yeah, I think, from my perspective, man, I think this is true, not just in business, but in life in general. I think far too often, we think we're good friends, Well, I'm a good friend to people. This is true in many different aspects, but we don't get credit for being a good leader when things are good. You don't get credit for being a good friend when things are easy.
Right.
To me, it's like,
No doubt.
and dude, the conversations that I value the most that we've had are the ones that nobody will ever know about. It has nothing to do with TCS, has nothing to do with business. It has not,
Right.
It's hey man, you okay?
Yeah.
Hey man, just checking in. Everything good? Do you need anything? And not do you need anything like, hey, here's some money. Like, do you need anything? Like, do you need an ear to talk to? Do you need, a friend? You need somebody to just listen to you or to, tell you you're being a dipshit. Whatever it is that you need, like that.
Yeah.
To me, that's what it is. And, that's what I try to be in business. One of the things that I try to pride myself on is being the steady hand in tough situations. When people are in a spot, man, like, if I can live my life being the guy that people know they can call when the shit hits the fan, at the end of my life, I feel like there'll be a lot of significance to it. Like when you can be there for people in the time of need, to me, there's no greater joy than that. There's no greater fulfillment than that. And so, it was easy. I've always believed in this guy from day one. I always saw probably more in him than he saw in himself. And
That's a fact.
And when you peel it back and you get, all the distractions away and all the noise out of your life, whether that's by choice or by force, you start to see things clearer. And so, to me, everything that Kevin went through just really allowed him to get on the same page as me. It's like, well, here we are. We're finally here. Like, what are we going to do with this? And, the opportunity to serve the construction industry the way that we really should have. But, and Kevin hit the nail on the head. Like, we both, this is a big business at the Pavement Group. And, it takes a lot. And so, to be able to serve, two businesses at the level that they need to is sometimes very difficult to do. And so you need an army of people to do that. And so, you've got the board, you've got the membership committee, you've got us, you've got, so we're starting to put together a dream team of people that really care about this industry, man, and care about blue-collar workers and care about blue-collar families and what that means to those people. Because, far too often, man, successful businesses lead to disastrous divorces. And, our industry is full of that stuff. And, our goal isn't just to teach people how to grow their businesses, but it's, how to get their life back and, to stop having a job with a tax ID number and to really build an organization, to build a company that can feed a lot of families. When you look around this office and you see all the people that are here and, the differences that we make in families, and, in the individual is the seed that goes back and plants into their own family. And the impact that they make, I really believe if we're doing our job at TCS, man, those families are getting better and better and better every single week from the calls that we do, from the mentorship, the WhatsApp chat that we have that people ask questions in. And, sometimes, man, I'm on the phone with these guys and girls and they're pouring their soul out about the struggles that they have, and everybody has their turn. Nobody's, immune to that. But what you get by being part of something like this is that it's like a safety net, man. It feels like you're invincible, man, when you're around the right people and people got your back, And to me, it's an honor to be able to sit here with you, man, and to know we don't just talk the talk, but we walk the walk. Like, we got your back, man. And at the end of the day, that's what we're supposed to do for our brothers and sisters. Like, it's like, yeah, man, you could be there for your friends when everything's great. You're going to football games and having a blast and partying and everything's good. Well, what happens when, everything goes sideways? That's when you really figure it out. And, every time I've had, challenges in my own life or in business, there's people that answer the phone every time, right? And those are the people that you want to go to battle with. And, for me, that's what this community has become. I don't believe our business would be as successful as it is if it wasn't for, the requirement for me to teach every week, to learn, to stay ahead of everybody else, to outpace. I certainly don't want the student whooping the ass of the teacher in this scenario. And trust me, it is not an easy task to outrun the people that we have in this group.
That's right.
But that has kept me focused. It's kept me moving forward. It's kept me doing things that otherwise I may not have done. And so, to me, that's the power of it. I'm more excited about this organization today than I was on day one, because day one I had a vision of what it could be. But now, 5 years in, we've got a community of just incredible people, man, that are, some of the best people I've ever known in my life. They come to my house for Thanksgiving and New Year's and, spend the holidays with us. And to watch the success and the turnarounds and the next levels of everybody's life. And again, it's not just business. It's not just financial success. It's like better marriages, better relationships with their kids, better everything, man. And that's what it's about. It's about the whole person. It's not about, just teaching people how to sell more and make more money. That's a small piece of what you get when you get attached to the right people. And so
100%, man. And as you guys are talking, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, we all know that saying that it takes a village to what? Raise a child. It also takes a village to raise an entrepreneur. Here's why. Because we always talk about the law of the lid, right? That's John Maxwell's thing. That's Brian's thing. I've learned it a lot from you, Brian, in that way. But here's the thing about the law of the lid. It's only the law of the lid if the leader allows the lid to be created. But if the leader decides to go to another leader to raise that lid, so then everybody else around that person can grow, then where we at again, right? Yeah. So it takes a village to raise an entrepreneur. We talk about this all the time. Entrepreneurship is one of the most lonely occupations that you could possibly ever be in, because you're asked to do so much, right? Especially on both ends, right? You, and especially you're asked to do damn near too many things. I ain't gonna lie to you, but we ain't gonna talk about that right now. But I will say is the fact that, like, you're asked to do a lot. You're asked to be a lot, right? And it's so important as entrepreneurs to rely on each other, to be like, bro, like, I'm going through it right now. I got to get these people paid off. I got to do this. I got to go do that. Sometimes it's okay to breathe, because even psychologists have people to talk to.
That's right.
I don't know if y'all heard me. Even counselors have people to talk to. So the people whose job it is to sit there and listen to your emotions, your struggles, your unwants and all those things, they also have people that they have to talk to because they're going through something.
Yeah.
So as entrepreneurs, man, it's so important to have such a strong community like you guys have, man. TCS is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
Not you guys, we. You're part
of it. I'm trying to get to the contractor world, right? I got to find something that I can contract in.
You're
I'm
there,
working
man.
on it.
Trade talk.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I might got some painting skills. If you look around this office a little bit, I did a lot of work in here. I ain't going to say too much, but I'm just going to say I did a lot of work. You know what I mean? But
you're
ultimately,
at the desk, aren't you?
I'm here, right?
You're here, man.
I'm here. So as I said, let me fix myself. As I say, man, there's a lot of things that make us lonely in this world, in this game of life, right? And being there for each other, man. We all grow by making money together.
Yeah.
We do this together. So I'm hoping that we do this and stay doing this together.
Dude, amen. And like that's why it made me think of this when you said even the counselor needs help sometimes. Like, most entrepreneurs, and you can correct me if you think I'm wrong, but I think I'm correct, and I'm only speaking for myself. But if I'm, and I've obviously talked to, interviewed, been around a lot of other entrepreneurs in the last decade of my life, but like, we are wired in I mean, there's a reason we're entrepreneurs. There's a reason we're leaders. Like, that's our calling. That's who we are in our core.
I like to call it unemployable.
Yeah. But we're I mean, at our core, we're lone wolves, and everything in our life until we figure out that we can't or we shouldn't. We try to influence, manage, and control. And so we think we can do that with everything we're going through too, whether
100%.
that be our emotional side, our spiritual side, personal, like we think we have enough because we carry all this weight and we help all these people and we're the visionaries. And you just said of Brian, he's probably doing 10% of almost everyone's job around here, but that's called growth. That's what that looks like sometimes. That's not because the people aren't capable or they're not giving everything they got, but that's part of being the vision. It's called paying the cost to be the boss, right? And so when you don't have a community or you don't reach out, like if you're trying to run self-will run riot, with everything in your life because you think you're a dog and you got it and I'm supposed to be tough and I'm supposed to be able to handle all this stuff, you're usually the last one getting fed. You're not taking care of yourself
Right.
a lot of the time. So
Right.
figuring that piece out of it, is of great magnitude, and being part of a community helps solve a lot of that.
To your point, right? You said being a dog. You hear that a lot. I say it a lot. I can't control it, but I say it a lot. You know what the funniest thing about dogs and lions is? Lions and dogs always do best when they're loved.
Yeah.
Everybody always says, well, I'm a dog, so I don't got to do too much. Think about this. Every single dog, all they want is to please their owner.
Yeah.
Every single lion, no lion is great without its pack. No wolf is great without
That's
its
it.
pack.
Oh, there you go.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, to be loved, to be that dog, you need to be loved by people who are like-minded like you.
Yes.
To be that lion, you need that lion pack or that wolf pack
Yeah.
to be around you
That
to
pack's
protect.
key.
They keep you tight. They keep you tight. They keep you solid. You ever see a lion try to hunt by itself?
Yeah.
And then
it's
you
over.
and then you see a lion hunt when he's with his pack.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, that pack of lions, I'm not dealing with that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
One of my friends said, he's like, if you look at a bunch of lions walk down the street, are you looking at a lion and saying, that one might be the nice one? No.
No.
You see a bunch of
Yeah.
lions, I'm heading the opposite
Yeah.
direction. It's the same scenario with the people that you keep around,
That's
right?
right. Yes,
So
sir.
keep those lions around, keep those wolves around, man. We get too caught up in the fact that we think that we have to do everything on our own. Like, I'm man enough to do it. Or, no, I got it. It's me. It's
Yeah.
me. Then you realize, oh, shit, it is me. It's just me.
Ah.
It is just only me.
Yeah.
That's tough, bro. Even Atlas, right? Atlas is a titan in the Greek mythology, right?
Yep.
There's other titans in Greek mythology, right?
Yeah.
Think about it. What are we talking about here? Atlas held up the world supposedly by himself.
Yeah.
But there's other titans. Does it make sense? No, it doesn't make sense. Because there's somebody there for someone else everywhere and every which way you look. Jesus did not do it by himself. He had 12 disciples.
Man.
What are we talking
Come
about
on.
here? So why all of a sudden now you believe that you're supposed to do everything on your own? I had to say, shut up, Tre Tipton, and wake up. Thank you to this guy right here. And that's the last compliment you're getting from me for the day. But that was it. I had to get that one. I had to get that one.
I'll take it.
I had to get that one.
That's a good one.
But again, man, thank you guys both for being here. I think you guys gave an incredible amount of information. And I think that we're going to continue to do this on a level that may end up being a podcast, I think, because this was a great conversation. I don't know what you guys think, but I think that's what it has been.
Dude, I mean, we've been having great conversations for half a decade now at least, so.
And
Maybe
dude,
this becomes the new version of Trade Talk.
Bang. There it is.
Bang.
All right. I just got it from the producer. That's it. All right. He sent it home. Appreciate that. I'm still in that. Welcome to Trade Talk, people. Welcome to Trade Talk. No, it's been an incredible time, man. This journey to build this studio, but this journey to build a family is not done. It's still going. Let's continue it.
Yeah, man. And thank you for hosting, mediating, moderating this. Like, we may be having a great conversation that you're a part of, but you sparked this, the questions you ask, the way you ask them, the way you present yourself. Like, you're an integral piece to the conversation we just had together. So, I mean, it's been awesome, man. Yeah.
Appreciate you, man. I definitely appreciate it.
That's why I say you earn that seat right there, man. Like, you're a part of this. Like,
Front and center.
I ain't got no problem with it. I ain't got no problem with it. Nah, thank you, man. I do appreciate that. It means a lot because I'm finding my way through a new world. You know what I'm saying? And I got a great team behind me, great people around me. Without Vinny, without Swingman, without Brian, I don't even know if I'd be in this position. To this day, I'll never forget the quote that Brian said to me. It's the only thing that makes me emotional about this dude. I swear to God, it is. I promise you. I was a winner who felt like a loser. And when I realized that I was actually a winner, I couldn't be beat. And I was like, oh, shit, they don't fuck me up.
wow.
Uh-oh. I said, uh-oh, he done gave me the right skills and the tools. Watch out now. So yeah, man, that's huge. So if you're a winner out there who feel like they're losing, realize that you're only losing in the moment. Your win is yet to come, and the only way that you're gonna get to that win is through losing. It's how the world works. Wow. Right? Rock bottom is the best place to look up. So
the best launch pad, man.
It is, dude.
And the best way to get out of rock bottom is together. You know, we say it repeatedly here, and we share it. I just shared it on a quote about our hike in the Grand Canyon, but the old African proverb: if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And that is truly, it's the definition of community, man. And it's the power of, you know, 2 people, 3 people can make a community, right?
Yeah,
but when the bigger that community gets and the more similar the values and principles are, you know, I like to say like-minded and like-hearted, it just becomes super powerful, man. It's lightning in a bottle because you'll never feel alone again.
Yeah.
Man, oh man.
Come on.
Great conversation, man. I appreciate you both. Thank you guys again for doing this. Let's continue to do this. This was a great time. Welcome to Trade Talk. I'm still in that right now. You see that? You see that camera? Okay, I hope you've seen it because I seen it. I feel it. I feel it. Thank you guys. Appreciate y'all. All love. You're here with us. Hope you enjoyed yourself.